As we already know, the Toronto Raptors are an elite defensive team with a high-level transition attack. They quickly turn defense into fast break offense to create easy scoring opportunities. Heading into the playoffs, the quality of the opponent gets better and the fast break usage decreases as teams are focused on taking away easy scoring opportunities. This puts the half-court offense into a spotlight and under pressure to perform. Currently, the Raptors sit in 16th place in the half-court offensively, which is near the bottom of the teams in the bubble, as well as those teams trending towards the playoffs. We will examine some of Toronto's offensive trends that are emerging from the reseeding games and try to uncover the thought process behind their attack. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button below to stay updated on all the latest content. For complete breakdowns and analysis, visit our website at EduBasketball.com. The link to the site is in the description below. Even when a fast break is neutralized, aggressive offensive teams continue to attack with pace and flow. Getting an early paint touch puts the defense into recovery mode. Continuing to move the ball allows the Raptors to turn a small advantage into a big one. Using Gasol at the top of the key as both a screener and facilitator allows the Raptors to begin their attack early in the possession. With quick ball movement and fake action, they shift the offense before getting into the ball screen that leads to a Lowry jump shot. VanVleet is able to get into the paint and collapse the defense off the early ball screen. From there, the ball never stops moving and the Raptors are able to continue finding a bigger advantage until they get an open layup at the rim. The perimeter players are all playing off the catch, meaning there's very little ball holding, which takes away the defense's ability to recover and reset. With an early paint touch, they're able to compromise the defense and from there continue exploiting it until a great shot is located. Rather than slowing down and calling a play every time, the 5-out offense is a natural way for Toronto to flow into their half-court action. With the perimeter space, the middle is open for cuts and penetration. A multitude of reads are available and they're making them in real time based on what the defense is doing. Finally, when they do run a set play, nothing changes other than the initial attack point. Here they run their popular hammer set that has been very effective for them over the last year. Miami snuffs out the action and they don't get the open shot in the corner. However, Toronto continues playing it after the play and flows into a mid-ball screen that gives them an even cleaner look at the rim. Playing with pace and flow and using early attacks to get the defense scrambling has yielded efficient numbers for the Raptors in the half court. To take this a step further, they're focusing heavily on opponent personnel and individual matchups to create an even bigger advantage. If we look at the individual defensive points per possession numbers for the Lakers, we can see that there are 3 defenders that stand out as possible attack points. Because of their familiarity with Danny Green's game and insights gained from having him on the roster last season, it was clear that they went right at him. He has a tendency to open up his stance when guarding the ball, and both VanVleet and Lowry were able to get by him off the dribble. Playing off the ball here, he seems uncertain about the coverage on the wide pin. He's thinking switch, but Dwight Howard doesn't pick up the ball immediately on the curl and they give up a layup. As soon as Siakam realizes that Green is matched up with him early, he takes his time to isolate him in the low post where he's able to use his size to score with ease over the top. If you've seen the preview video to this matchup, you know that attacking Kyle Kuzma would be a focal point of the Raptors offense. He's had very little success defending Siakam in their previous matchups, and the numbers only further drive the point of his difficulties on that end of the floor. The minute he steps on the floor, the Raptors are looking to involve Kuzma in the action, knowing that there will be a breakdown of sorts. He plays the ball very loosely in the pick and roll, and the attacker Powell in this case is able to get to a spot with very little resistance for the finish at the rim. Siakam's confidence goes up a level when he sees Kuzma in front of him. He has a green light to attack and is able to consistently get the best of him in one-on-one situations. With the Lakers using Kuzma to switch, the Raptors involve him in the action in order to get him defending the ball handler. Lowry's quickness and savvy are difficult to contain by the best of defenders, but in Kuzma's case, it's almost impossible. The Raptors space the floor so that the two are left on an island alone and Lowry is able to get to his spots for scores or to draw fouls. In the second game, judging by the numbers, the Raptors had 3 defenders on the Miami Heat roster that could be potential matchup attacks. Once again, this is exactly the direction Toronto decided to go in. You can see on this play, Siakam is motioning for OG to come and set the screen in order to get Duncan Robinson switched onto him. The Heat know this, so they don't switch but instead hedge the screen to buy Crowder time to get back to the ball. The separation caused by the screen creates enough space for Siakam to be able to drive the ball into the paint. The well-timed back screen by Gasol leaves a wide open VanVleet in the corner. Very similar situation here in that Robinson steps out aggressively to hedge the screen, but on the recovery the Heat are too slow locating and matching up, and as a result they give up a wide open 3 to Gasol. Knowing that they don't want to switch Robinson onto the ball, the Raptors continue to put him into those situations because it creates enough confusion and space where they're able to get their scores into their comfort spots. The other matchup the Raptors exploited in the game versus the Heat was against Kelly Olynyk. Anytime that he was matched up with a perimeter attacker, the floor would be spread and he was forced to defend in space. Attacking with pace makes it difficult for the defense to find their matchups, and this left Olynyk guarding much quicker ball handlers on a number of occasions. Knowing that he's given up a speed advantage to the Raptors guards, the Heat had Olynyk play the ball screen softer so that he can contain the dribble. This allowed VanVleet to come off of the screen aggressively and pull the trigger early before a recovery was possible. The adjustment the Heat went to was to put 2 on the ball and have Olynyk aggressively trap the ball handler. Bringing 2 defenders on the ball is a way to negate a quickness advantage, but this approach also proved unsuccessful as he wasn't able to move his feet without fouling or giving up the drive, which opened up shooters on the weak side. In the game versus the Orlando Magic, another former Raptor was put in the spotlight defensively. Looking at the numbers, it's easy to see why Toronto looked to attack Terrence Ross. Ross is an aggressive but very jumpy defender and is usually out of position and not able to recover. In the pick and roll, he tries to cut off OG, who's able to reject the screen and finish with a spin move at the rim. On the ball, he likes to get into his man physically, but this only opens up his stance and he gives up a straight line attack to Terrence Davis. Raptors spread the floor and put Ross in space to defend OG at the top of the key. Again, you can see that he's out of stance, turning his head toward the action away from the ball. This gives OG a driving lane and he takes it for a rim finish. On this possession, OG turns a corner ISO into a post-up. Ross offers very little resistance inside against a much bigger OG, and he's able to get a 2-foot power finish. This next clip is a good indication of the troubles that Ross is defensively. In this guard-to-guard screen, he's completely unsure of what the coverage is. Initially, it looks like a hard hedge, similar to what we saw with Duncan Robinson in the Heat. However, instead of getting back to Powell on the perimeter, Ross follows the ball along with Gary Clark. This leaves Markelle Fultz with a long closeout. To make matters worse, Ross has an opportunity to make a play on Powell's drive, but instead he gets out of the way and gives up an easy dunk. Because of the difficulties with the hedge coverage, the Magic have to adjust and go to switching with Ross in order to plug up the hole. This allows Hollis-Jefferson to attack him from the mid-post and create a wide open shot for Powell against the collapsed defense. As we head towards the playoffs, we'll continue to keep an eye on how the Raptors' half-court offense is evolving. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button to get notified when new videos are released. For access to full analysis and all of the content, be sure to check out our website at edubasketball.com. We'll see you next time.